Inside her
It's
eyeballs.
anime, man.
I like the fact they made her irises square too, so they're not all human.
This is just a body. It's not bad or good. That part's up to you.
It's pretty good CGI.
Oh, sounds philosophical.
When am I supposed to know you?
Actually, we just met.
Next summer, I could be dead by then.
A strong prey on the weak down here.
A lot of people in this movie.
Does it bother you that I'm not completely human? I'd do whatever I had to for you. I'd give you whatever I have. I'd give you my heart.
Alita, they will come for you.
Oh shit.
Why?
Oh shit.
I think you're someone
Fuck you up.
very special.
This is the first of many, I'm assuming. That hopefully, I would assume.
It depends.
So this is based on anime?
This is based on a manga that was turned into a OVA anime. Yes.
So what's the story here?
All right. Look, like I said, look, the pupils are not circle. They're actually, they're almost cat's eye. They're
Squarish.
They're
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, this is based off of a manga that was written in the 80s.
20th Century Fox, soon to be Disney.
Soon to be Disney. And it is a rather dark dystopic. It's cyberpunk to the 10th degree. It is not a happy storyline. I've become familiar with it and read it through all the stuff and like peaked all my memories since we saw this last week, and I was fanboying out on it. It is not a happy storyline. it's not a happy storyline at all. It's basically a dystopic future where it's supposed to take place in like America. It's actually like Kansas,
America.
I believe. Yeah, in the actual anime. It's only really a short series. There was, I think it's maybe like there was like 3 or 4. I don't know exactly long, but there's really only 2 major storylines, maybe 3. This is going to take part in. It's based off of the American OVAs that were released, which was only an hour long. There were 2 30-minute episodes which deal with the initial manga that was made, and it's pretty much the beginning of her story and her back for it. It's going to be, and like I said, if they follow the storyline, it's going to be depressing and dark and dreary and really like.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of modified
Everybody
humans
dies.
in there.
Well,
Like there's people with robot arms and bionics
Yeah.
and stuff, but she's all robot, isn't she?
She in the book, she is 100% robot. She is
So
no
she's
human.
like what comes next, right?
It never, the book never really goes into, or the manga doesn't go into extreme detail, at least at this portion, on the difference in societies, because there's a floating city above where they're at. You can see some elements of it in some of the like the distant shots. And underneath world is basically like called like Scrapyard City or Scrapyard, and all the industrial waste and shit is thrown overboard. The main character, Altila is the main character, or Alita is the main character, but he is the doctor is also one of the major characters in it. He finds her, and he was originally a member of the city above, but was outcast. And he goes down and basically starts up a doctor where he provides cybernetics and stuff like that for people. But the whole Undercity is basically just, it's your typical sci-fi dystopia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crowded. There's business. It's your standard, capitalistic business. Everything happens. Everybody lives. Food. Standard stuff. But it's also futuristic, so you have a lot of cybernetics and stuff like that. But there's a huge crime problem, and the major crime aspect that the driving storyline is that there's a lot of people that are more or less body part hunters, and either high-level cybernetics or anything that's done any decently, people will kill them to steal. And then there's like body part kill scavengers where they want like intact spinal columns, and that's the pretty much driving storyline. According to what I read, the book, like I said, this is following the original OVAs, and it's all about spines. Is the best way to put it. See the dots on their foreheads? That's supposed to be a mark of somebody that's from the upper city or was part of the upper society. The original storyline basically is the doctor finds her, puts her back together, and it's kind of a story based around the Altia's
Alita,
figuring out
Alita.
who she is and what she is, and not really
There's a
knowing.
city
She has
above her
amnesia. She doesn't. Yeah, she has amnesia. She doesn't know who she is. That's the city above. Yes, and the tethering lines, which is a key aspect of the storyline as well. And he puts her together, and she doesn't know who she is, and she tries to. It's like a coming into being of a character.
Why is everybody coming for Alita though? What makes
She's
her
a badass.
so
Look at
special?
her.
She has knowledge of, and this is going to sound really cheesy because at least it sounds cheesy to me, but she has a knowledge of a fighting style for cybernetics called Panzerfaust or something along those lines. Armor breaker. All right, and she knows how to do that, but she doesn't understand why. Nobody's really coming after her. I think that's the next storyline. It like deals with she was never supposed to be scrapped, blah 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 blah. But the main aspect is that what her and the male character she meets, so she's like giving her heart symbiotic, more than
The love interest.
They get attacked, and she basically just fucking destroys the people that
Clearly.
And they
He puts
become
this dude's face through a table.
All right, she basically destroys them, and she gets bloodlust off of it. She actually enjoys what she did. All right, and it's the aspect that she finds out that she can do that, and she can go out and start hunting the criminals and stuff and turning in bounties. And the doctor that saved her actually freelances as a bounty hunter. You see a scene later where he's carrying like a giant fucking hammer.
We saw that before.
He's actually he's a bounty hunter. So he basically goes, if you have these abilities, you can be a bounty hunter. And the whole story premise basically deals with she wants to basically make her love interest, the kid's dreams come true. The kid wants to go to the upper city and leave the slums. And somebody told him that if he collects like $1 million or whatever the form of money is in the universe, he can buy passage to the upper city. She starts going on the
we're getting pretty deep here.
Well, yeah.
You're getting
but so
you're
the whole
going too far in there.
yeah, so
You're gonna wreck the entire movie.
Yeah, but either way,
you continue, you will.
yeah. So I mean, it's you're seeing the development of the character in this, and her idea of becoming what she doesn't know who she is, but developing into something else. And the reason this is considered an extremely, it was a groundbreaking writing because of how the characters developed. A lot of manga doesn't. It's just like a lot of comic books. Some are really really good at character development. Some are just pretty pictures. And this is one that's really gotten a lot of credit for really formulating a lot of like cyberpunk and that kind of aspect because the guy spent a lot of time really building the characters from the ground up. He didn't just go, she's a badass and beats everybody kills everything. He spent really a lot of time dealing with like the growth of somebody that just is created and comes to life, and the struggles that person has with who they are, the abilities they have, and like the path they take in life. And it's like Torn and me have talked like about manga and stuff, and you've said before, Torn, one of the things you like is the more philosophical approach they take with a lot of their writing.
Well, if they stick to the Eastern philosophy, yeah.
Yeah, and this one definitely does too.
Okay.
It
looks cool.
Try
It
to
looks
westernize
cool.
it.
So I mean, like I said, I have high hopes for it. It's a great storyline, and like I said, I'm curious because, like I said, it does not have a good ending. It does not have a good ending.
How many spoilers you gonna throw out? Shadow? Good.
I don't need
Well,
to see
I
that.
hate to say this, but if you listen to the way that the song is in there, this is not. It is extremely.
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy, and it's like, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Now, like I said, from what I've read,
And
it takes,
shut up.
from what I read, it takes place in the
All right.
that was basically VAs. So
Seriously, if you tell me the entire thing, I don't want to see it. I've already heard
All
it.
right. That's enough of that.